There are people. Remember, I think about 20 years ago, there was a terrorist attack in America. The World Trade Centers were blown up, smashed to the ground. It's interesting how people are remembering this. They have celebrations of remembrance 20-something years later, but nothing get better. It's just a feel-good moment. Oh, I feel so good. I remember. It's just a feel-good moment, but nothing changes. Have you noticed that? If anything, it gets worse. What's the purpose of having a feel-good moment? It just makes your ego feel like you care. Oh, I care about the dead. I care about the people who were killed in the terrorist attack on September 20 years ago. No, you don't. You don't even know their names. You don't remember. They weren't in your family. You don't care. It's an act. It's an evil act parading as good. But you can care less. As soon as that feel-good moment is gone, you forget about September 11th. Have you ever thought about that? It's all an emotional act. Emotions are evil. They come straight out of hell by way of the imagination. And all imagination is evil. It's evil. It is evil. It's amazing. And some evil people are now comparing September 11th to the rally in December on January 6th. They're trying to compare it to that. As America observed September 11th on this past Sunday, media and politicians couldn't help but compare the day to January 6th. This is from the Revolver. Watch this.
What's going through your mind today, 21 years later?
How important it is to try to deal with extremism of any kind, especially when it uses violence to try to achieve political and ideological goals.
In many ways, we defeated the terrorists because of the resilience of the American public, because of our intelligence community, and we are safer, better prepared. The stunning thing to me is here we are 20 years later, and the attack on the symbol of our democracy was not coming from terrorists, but it came from literally insurgents attacking the Capitol on January 6th.
Certain dates echo throughout history. December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001. And January 6th.
Those people are evil. They're demon-possessed. And they don't care. It's for them and about them. It's not about you. And you think that the government is going to save you. And whether they are Democrats or Republicans, neither will save you. Republicans are no different. We have a one-party system because we have Republicans who are possessed and they want perceived power, wealth for themselves too. They don't care about. They agree with the Democrats. But come election time, you hear all kinds of lies. We do care. We care about you. No, they don't. They're lying to you because they want more fake power and hope that that will make them feel better. And you give it to them. Look how many old Republicans in the office that shouldn't be gone a long time ago because they're proving that they are not for the people. They have proven that to you. A year after 80 years later, you're still voting for them. The idea of comparing September 11 to January 6th is evil. There's no comparison. Zero. 2,996 people died during the September 11 attack. And as far as we know, only one died from the rally, and it's being reported that a woman was killed by the police unnecessarily. 2,996 innocent people were killed due to the terrorist attack in New York. Isn't that amazing? And there are dumb people in this country who will hear that and believe it. And they'll go around comparing the two because they cannot see. Once you believe a lie, it becomes the truth to you. And no one can convince you that it's a lie. That's why you shouldn't try to convince anyone of anything. There's not one thing on earth that you should try to convince anyone of. You can't convince another person. They have to want to change. And that's mind-blowing. There is a mini 9/11 happening around the country in the American cities every year. For an example, this is from NBC, 2021 ended as Chicago's deadliest year in a quarter of a century. 2021 ended Chicago's deadliest year in a quarter of a century. Listen to this: 797 homicides, 3,561 shooting incidents in 2021. Chicago ended with that. According to NBC, 797 homicides, 3,561 shooting incidents in Chicago. They don't care. It's crazy how you just vote these people in and year out. That evil woman mayor of Chicago should have been impeached right away. She doesn't care about the people of the city. It's about, and she's protected, so she doesn't have to worry. She doesn't want you to be protected because she wants the chaos. She wants you to be afraid so that you'll keep voting for her, thinking that somehow or another she's going to resolve the issues and you'll be happy. She's not going to do it. She's proven she's not going to do it. Yet they vote her in, vote her out. And guess what? They're going to make it better for you. According to Revolver, Illinois is set to eliminate cash bail in 2023. They're going to eliminate it. As though there's no crime in Chicago, right? And they're like, we're so happy in Chicago. Everybody gets along. No killing, no shooting. In spite of 797 homicides, 3,561 shooting incidents. This is from the Revolver. Everything is so nice, and y'all come on down. Come visit Chicago. Live in Chicago because we are so at peace. We're going to eliminate cash bail. This is from the Revolver. Listen up closely to this, folks. This is mind-blowing.
In under 4 months, cash bail will be eliminated in Illinois under the SAFE-T Act, leading to major changes in how the court process will work.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket.
Isn't that amazing? So the code word for that is they're letting all the black criminals out of jail. They'll let them out. And you can't put them back in there because it's like a revolving door. They go in and out. They don't have to stay. They're letting the blacks out of prisons and jails. If that doesn't make you tremble, I don't know what it takes. Now, the man that was telling you the story, he's a Republican. He's not for that. He's in one of those Republican cities up there in Chicago. So he's not for it, but he's just laying out to the people what's happening there in Chicago. The Democrats, the liberal, and the rightos are for it. And that's what they're already doing in Los Angeles and New York and California and New York. No bells about look what is going on as a result. They're setting you up to suffer. And unfortunately, the Republicans are not going to do anything about it because they are okay with it too. They're not going to even tell you about it, barely tell you about it during election time because they want to stay in the office. Isn't that amazing? It's already happened in New York and California, so fret not. And Chicago been out of, as far as crime, black on black crime, been going on for years. For years. And now they want to make it easier for the criminals, take away your right to bear arms. They don't want you to protect yourself. They're not going to send the cops. If someone invades your privacy of your own home, they're just going to give them a ticket. Like they're going to pay the ticket, right? I want my America back. I want to play that soundbite from Revolver one more time. And maybe some of you just was not really paying attention because you were making coffee and you didn't really hear that. You heard it in the background, but you're thinking, oh, I wish Jesse would play that again so I could really hear the detail of what he was saying. This is from Revolver again. Illinois is set to eliminate cash bail in 2023. Watch this.
In under 4 months, cash bail will be eliminated in Illinois under the SAFE-T Act, leading to major changes in how the court process will work.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket.
Isn't that amazing? The innocence is no longer protected by the government that you pay. that you hire to protect you. And you know why they can get away with it? They've been crying racism for years, which doesn't exist, by the way. And they've been saying too many black people are in prisons and jails who have been committing a crime, by the way. And they call that racism and police brutality, some dumb titles they're giving it. They've said it so much now for years in the media and everywhere that you've fallen for it. And now they can do this because they see that you are afraid of words. And they know that you're not going to do anything about it. They're literally telling you, the innocent people, that we're not going to protect you. We're going to protect the criminals. They're saying it out loud. They're not hiding it anymore. May God have mercy on America. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Quick break, 888-7753-773. A line open there. Back in a moment.